You're taking a look at an EcoMotion bike, and I am with Scott Starley, who is telling us all about these bikes. We're at the EarthWell Festival. Thanks for being with us on the Mountain Morning Show. Scott, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Now, this is a very interesting concept, whether people want to bike and get the exercise, or if they want to take the nice leisure way out and let the bike do the, the pedaling and the work for you. Tell us about it, though.
Well, the intent of this bike was basically as a commuter bike, and so the original idea behind this was an alternative to gas, and to get to work without creating any kind of sweat, so you don't have to, you don't come to work all sweaty. And so these bikes are what they call an on-demand bike. They're run by a throttle, as opposed to a power assist bike has the electric conversion in the pedaling. This you don't have to pedal if you don't want to.
But you can if you want, right?
You can if you want. It is a regular bike from the handlebars back, 7-speed regular bike. Has a transmission, not a derailleur. So the nice thing about that is you can shift the bike when it's standing still, and you'll start out in that gear. There's no derailleur movement, and so there's no wheel rotation necessary. So I can shift into first gear, or I can shift up into 7th gear, and I'll start out in that gear automatically.
Now show us the throttle process and how, show them what they'll see.
So the throttle is just activated by the key on the side of the bike, which is run by the battery. The actual electrical motor is in the front wheel, and it's called a planetary gear. It's 350 watts, and it's basically a series of electromagnets that oppose each other. A ton of torque, good speed, tons of power. Okay. You going up a hill, you don't lose anything. It's really nice, yeah. And so it has a switch here that you can override the throttle. If you don't want to have the throttle on, you can just turn it off. But you turn it on, and I haven't got the battery in. Sorry.
You're fine. We can cut it right there.
This is a new bike, Oh, I got the peg out. Okay. There we go. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. We'll start from right there. You're fine. Okay, we'll start there.
Okay, so anyway, so
turn the bike on.
Turn the bike on at the key. It's run by this battery, and the motor is a planetary gear, 350 watt. It's basically a series of opposing electromagnets, extremely torquey, extremely powerful, no loss uphill. If I turn on the throttle, the motor is essentially silent.
Wow. So it's just the front wheel.
Yeah, essentially, and it just pulls you. And I have found in the snow, this thing's a riot because you're in front wheel drive, and it just pulls you through the snow, and you're not spinning out. You're just kind of rallying through the snow. It's really a lot of fun.
Good for snow biking.
Good for snow biking.
Tell me this: if you're, you turn the throttle on, but you want to pedal at the same time, let's say for a little exercise, or you want to save the battery, right? Because that'll help save the battery. I mean, how does it work? I mean, are you trying to keep up with the speed, or do you just kind of pedal at your speed?
You're just pedaling at your speed. It's whatever is comfortable, and every pedal that you make contributes to the speed of the bike. So,
Tom, why don't you start riding for us? You can kind of show us, ride around and show us what it looks like with pedaling and without pedaling, and you can kind of tell us about it.
Yeah, well, so Tom right now he's just throttle only, and you can see that it virtually. Good propulsion, no slowdown whatsoever.
And like you said, uphill. If he started going uphill, you have to throttle a little bit more, or just keeps going?
Well, I ride these bikes a lot just to demonstrate everything, and I find that when I'm in a really, really severe uphill, I can do 10 miles an hour pedaling really, really effortlessly.
This looks like the best bike ride I could ever possibly think of, Scott, because it's like, oh, I went for like a 25-mile bike ride, and people are going to think I'm amazing, and I didn't do any pedaling.
How I actually came onto these bikes, we're down in L.A., and my wife and I were out riding on the beach, and they had these. We were on beach cruisers, and we got done, and my wife was just sweating, and she says, "Gosh, that's about the only thing I don't like about this is I have to sweat so much, and So I just kind of started looking around, and there was a rental shop up the street that had these. And we went out on them, and we instantly, when we got back, we bought 2. And we took them home with us. And she rides almost every day now on these bikes. She loves them. And I find that the people who I'm selling them to are the people in my age group. I'm 55 and older. I'm also selling them to a lot of people with disability. I sold 2 last week where 2 separate individuals whose children were physically handicapped. They could ride, but they couldn't ride very well, and so these bikes really assist them. I sold one earlier this month to a lady who had multiple sclerosis. Again, she wanted something to exercise with, but she couldn't do it all. And these things are just terrific for that sort of thing.
I like the idea that you can pedal if you want to. You can pedal with it and get the extra help, or you can completely turn the throttle off and, you know, do it all on your own. Whatever you want, this bike can cater to.
And I've actually sold these bikes. I sold them to a couple of yoga instructors who they teach yoga all day, and they don't want to drive. They're trying to be eco-friendly that way, and they say they don't want the hard bike ride home, so they take these to and from work, and they say it's an absolute breeze to get home, uphill all the way. And yeah, so I think they're really fun. They're not, you know, in my opinion, they're not designed for a hardcore biker. Right. It doesn't appeal to that demographic, but I'm a hardcore biker, but I said, this is a really nice bike to really even the playing field. I've taken these bikes, a bunch of them, and gathered a whole group of people of all different physical capabilities. The nice thing about that is we all keep up with each other. Great. Everybody stays together, and no one's left behind. And I go, that's the best part about it. You know, I always think I'm going to take these down to Springdale at Zion's Park and you know, do a rental shop down there. I think that would be a great idea. So,
well, where do they find more information on these bikes? What's your website?
My website is www.ecomotionbikes.com. And they can find all the information. We're located in Salt Lake City, and they're feel free and come down, take a test drive, whatever they want to do. So these are the only 2 models. The Electro Glide also comes in a straight bar version. This is called a step-through version. Mm-hmm. So they have a straight bar version. It looks more like characteristically like a mountain bike. This bike is available in silver, white, and black. The cruisers are available only in that style and only in black.
Great. So, Scott, thank you so much for all your information. Tom, will you ride off and kind of show them how they can do it with the pedals? I want them to see, you know, you've got the throttle going, the pedals going, you know, you can kind of decide what you want to do. So check out that website. Scott, great to meet you, and thanks for enlightening on all of this.
So, come out and see us at the EarthWell Festival today. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. Lots more coming up from the EarthWell Festival right after this.